This is the fourth chapter to James Baldwin's Nothing Personal. The light that's in your eyes reminds me of the skies that shine above us every day. So wrote a contemporary lover, out of God knows what agony, what hope, and what despair. But he saw the light in the eyes, which is the only light there is in the world, and honored and trusted, and will always be able to find it, since it is always there, waiting to be found. One discovers the light in darkness. That is what darkness is for. But everything in our lives depends on how we bear the light. It is necessary, while in darkness, to know that there is a light somewhere. To know that in oneself, waiting to be found, there is a light. What the light reveals is danger, and what it demands is faith. Pretend, for example, that you were born in Chicago and have never had the remotest desire to visit Hong Kong, which is only a name on a map for you. Pretend that some convolution, sometimes called accident, throws you into connection with a man or a woman who lives in Hong Kong, and that you fall in love. Hong Kong will immediately cease to be a name and become the center of your life. And you may never know how many people live in Hong Kong, but you will know that one man or one woman lives there without whom you cannot live. And this is how our lives are changed, and this is how we are redeemed. What a journey this life is, dependent entirely on things unseen. If your lover lives in Hong Kong and cannot get to Chicago, it will be necessary for you to go to Hong Kong. Perhaps you will spend your life there and never see Chicago again. And you will, I assure you, as long as space and time divide you from anyone you love, discover a great deal about shipping routes, airlines, earthquake, famine, disease, and war. And you will always know what time it is in Hong Kong, for you love someone who lives there. And love will simply have no choice but to go into battle with space and time, and furthermore, to win. I know we often lose, and that the death or destruction of another is infinitely more real and unbearable than one's own. I think I know how many times one has to start again, and how often one feels that one cannot start again. And yet, on pain of death, one can never remain where one is. The light, one will perish without the light. I have slept on rooftops and in basements and subways, have been cold and hungry all my life, have felt that no fire would ever warm me, and no arms would ever hold me. I have been, as the song says, buked and scorned, and I know that I will always be. But my God, in that darkness, which was the lot of my ancestors in my own state, what a mighty fire burned. In that darkness of rape and degradation, that fine flying froth and mist of blood, through all that terror and in all that hopelessness, a living soul moved and refused to die. We really emptied oceans with a homemade spoon and tore down mountains with our hands. And if love was in Hong Kong, we learned how to swim. It is mighty heritage. It is the human heritage. And it is all there is to trust. And I learned this through descending, as it were, into the eyes of my father and my mother. I wondered when I was little how they bore it, for I knew that they had much to bear. It had not yet occurred to me that I also would have much to bear, but they knew it, and the unimaginable rigors of their journey helped them to prepare me for mine. This is why one must say yes to life and embrace it wherever it is found. And it is found in terrible places, nevertheless. There it is. And if the father can say, "Yes, Lord," the child can learn that most difficult of words, "Amen." For nothing is fixed. Forever and forever and forever, it is not fixed. The earth is always shifting. The light is always changing. The sea does not cease to grind down rock. Generations do not cease to be born, and we are responsible to them because we are the only witnesses they have. The sea rises, the light fails, lovers cling to each other, and children cling to us. The moment we cease to hold each other, the moment we break faith with one another, the sea engulfs us, and the light goes out.